Warning, due to YouTube's content restrictions, you can see this video in full on our uncensorable Odysee channel at video.freekeen.com.
Dimethylene. DMT, that's as far as I'm going. From the Controlled Drug Act, having considered the same, report the same with the following resolution: resolved that it is inexpedient to legislate. Representative David Moose from the majority of the committee. Minority of the committee, having considered the same, being unable to agree with the majority, report with a recommendation that the bill ought to pass. Representative Jonah Wheeler for the minority of the committee. The chair recognizes Representative Gerhard.
Thank you, Speaker. Dimethyltryptamine, along with many other psychedelics, has been maligned since the 1960s, when it was all psychedelics were attached to Vietnam War resistance and the like. But their effects on depression, addiction, PTSD, a whole host of mental issues is well documented. It's just not voluminous because the federal government and other entities, including Big Pharma, have endeavored to bury it. We have something like 13% of Americans on antidepressants. That's according to the CDC. So right now in this room, we have 50 people on Skittles, and we need to figure out why that's occurring and to move these people off of these dangerous drugs onto something that, so DMT, when we trip on DMT, let's say, 6 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, nobody's getting in a car and going to drive to 7-Eleven while they're tripping on DMT. So it's not dangerous for the reasons cited in the committee report. No, there's no public safety factor. In Canterbury right now, as we heard during the testimony related to the bill, there are people undergoing therapy with this all the time. There's no reports of any crazies running around naked in Canterbury doing crazy things. So we have, well, maybe there are, I haven't seen them. So I'm right next door in Northfield. So in the U.S. News and World Report, the headline is in April 20th article of 2022. In long run, antidepressants don't improve quality of life, which I think we all know, but we don't really want to admit because Big Pharma tells us every time you turn on the TV, brought to you by Pfizer. So in a BBC article, they wrote, while conventional drugs may numb negative feelings, quote, these drugs seem to allow you to approach difficult experiences in your life, sit with that distress, and process them. It might be getting at something more fundamental. That was the root cause of the problem, Professor Morgan said. Through that, we think you can get much more lasting change. And now I'm going to segue to veterans. So we all know that veterans are committing suicide at a much higher rate than average Americans or non-veterans. So we've had 6,100 veteran suicides in 2020 alone, and we've had 20 consecutive years of over 6,000 veterans committing suicide. Every year, 6,000 people. That's a huge number. So what are we going to do? More antidepressants? They don't work. They don't. So veterans account for more than 9% of all adults experiencing homelessness in the U.S., and 39,000 on any given day. So I bring that up to talk about the situation in Concord, which I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a whole bunch of homeless people in Concord. So at the recent delegation meeting, we were talking about this, and there's 300 homeless they've documented. I don't know how they tag them, but they've counted that many. And 30 have applied for housing vouchers. So only 10% of them are actually looking to kind of reintegrate into society. So let's kind of figure out why that is. Do you think maybe these people have mental illnesses that they don't want to take these psych meds for? So maybe we can think about different alternative means that are safer, pure, and a one-time treatment instead of giving them Skittles every day to take? So last thing to talk about is psilocybin, magic mushrooms. I don't know what you guys are familiar with. They've been legalized in Denver, in Portland, and also I just found out, where is this in Massachusetts? Somerville, Massachusetts actually decriminalized them in 2021. So we got to kind of realize what we're dealing with, and we're not dealing with some kind of dangerous drug. We're dealing with something that can help people process psychological trauma.
In 2018, Free Keene teamed up with LBRY.com to back up our YouTube. Libraries already protected more than one video that YouTube took down. Now, in 2021, our YouTube's been given a ridiculous strike for a 15-second promo from 2011 for harmful or dangerous content. Library doesn't have strikes or any way to take down videos. Our days are numbered on YouTube. Get the app at lbry.com or follow our channel on Library's new platform, Odysee, at video.freekeene.com.